1, 2, 3, 4.
You got it! Bird picks it up, across the half line with 4, to the free throw line with 3, Ryan with 2 is good!
Even though the 2004 season was in the past, the 6 remaining members of the championship team were excited to celebrate it one last time before looking ahead to 2005. Before the Storm's nationally televised season opener against their arch-rival Los Angeles Sparks, Storm players and coaches received their championship rings, and the players raised the team's championship banner to the Key Arena rafters.
I think we were all excited to, one, get the season off. Playing LA, which is the arch rivals for us. And knowing that the banner will be raised, our rings will be shining. I think it was a very exciting time for all of us to get the season started, but have that fresh reminder of what we accomplished last year.
When I saw the banner go up, I looked at it and I said, finally, I've waited all these years for this to happen. The whole day, everybody was like, oh, I'm getting my bling today, and we were all excited about it. And the only sad part was, some of the girls were missing from the team that actually won it all. So, we were thinking about them and talking about them. Just to see them raise the banner just brought back a lot of fond memories from the season. It was definitely something I had never experienced before. I don't know if I ever will again. I definitely hope so, but it was just an awesome feeling.
Last year was such a wonderful year. So it sort of brought back all those memories, and it was great. I mean, it was something that I'll never forget.
Up into warm-ups that night, everybody had jitters, and when they stopped warm-ups and called us up to get our rings, I saw everybody getting a little teary-eyed.
Just a reminder of being on that floor in Key Arena with a lot of fans coming back to see the ring ceremony. For me, it was a tremendous amount of pride associated with that.
They were a huge part of what we did last year. They're a huge part of what we do every year. And that is also for them because, we played at home last year in the finals, and just them being there and screaming and cheering for us and getting so loud, they helped us get that ring. It gives you a lot of confidence. You can look up and remember, I am a champion, and, think about the things you did to get there.
Well, that was a great afternoon, minus the game. But to see the banner go up, to be able to finally get our rings, it brought back a lot of great memories. And to have the fans there cheering, it reminded me of the night we won.
Betty was just like, can you believe this? Can you believe this? We're raising our banner. So we were all just kind of screaming and laughing, just enjoying the moment. I was like, wow, we have to do this again.
The pregame ceremonies proved to be the highlight of opening night for Seattle. The Storm shot less than 24% from the field in an 18-point loss. The Storm continued to struggle in their next game against the Houston Comets, trailing by 14 going into halftime, but they responded by scoring a franchise record 53 points in the second half to run away from Houston.
Back to Lane, taken away, Sue Bird. The pull-up. Good catch. Runner down, back up to the Storm. Bird, head on a swivel, gives to Lane, baseline, but up there.
The Storm's run continued with home wins over San Antonio and Indiana and a victory at Phoenix. The 4-game winning streak brought back the Storm's championship swagger before the team headed east for an early season finals rematch against the Connecticut Sun. Late in the game, with the Storm attempting to come back, misfortune struck.
At the other end, Jackson gets off her shot and she hits it and she's fouled. And in the sequence, the foul on Sale, Sue Bird took a shot to the nose.
June 7th is a bad day for our history in 2005.
Yeah, we were playing at Connecticut and trying to make a comeback there because we were down a couple points. And yeah, I just drove the lane and I handed it off, or I kind of dished it to Lauren. And she went up for a layup, and honest to God, I just looked to see what happened. I was like, oh, is it going to go in? And before I knew it, she got fouled, and her momentum got knocked into my nose and cheek.
I felt really sorry for Sue, but, those little people, they just can't run in there.
I definitely received. I was on the the worst end of that.
I didn't even feel it happen. That's what made it so bad, because I just, I didn't even know it happened. It's terrible.
But that's okay. I was definitely disappointed when it happened. A lot of people were like, "Ooh, it must have hurt. I saw you crying. It must have really hurt." But the honest to God truth is, I was crying because I knew I was going to have to wear that mask again.
Sue, as soon as she crumpled to the floor, you knew what was at stake. Same kind of pain she went through a year before in the playoffs, and no question that it was broken again looking at her.
I knew I broke my nose. But I also, I was like, oh, my cheek kind of hurts, when I do that. I don't know if this is normal. It didn't happen last time. I was actually going to try and go to Detroit the next day and play with the mask from last year. But then when they got back the CT scan, it showed that I had a broken cheek as well. So that kind of ended that, and I was shipped right back to Seattle.
With Bird sidelined, the Storm's offense was put into the hands of Italian rookie Francesca Zara, who had previously played only 29 minutes in her WNBA career.
With Sue crumpling to the floor and looking down the bench and seeing all the inexperience we had at that point in the season, there were a lot of question marks in how we would respond.
The first thing we try to do is just keep our composure. We didn't know how bad it was at first. Sue is definitely the engine behind our team, and we just had to kind of think about the next step. And we knew we had a veteran in Zara, not necessarily in the WNBA, but she had some experience.
I felt all the pressure on me, but at the same time, I'm used to lead a team in Europe, so I was trying just to do the same things that I do in Europe, and I think I did okay.
Behind Zara's 9 points and 4 rebounds, the Storm took an early 20-point lead and cruised to a 76-61 win in Detroit.
June 8th, we talked about getting thrown in the fire, so we lose Sue June 7th. We have a not-so-pretty loss in Connecticut on June 7th. We go to Detroit June 8th, and here's Fran facing one of the most athletic teams in the league that are chomping at the bit, waiting for that rookie to step on the floor. And I give Fran so much credit. It's one of the best wins we had all season, if not the best win.
1 second. Zara. Oh, she buried the triple straight away.
Right away, she was put to the test at Detroit, at Washington, at Charlotte, and then home against Minnesota. I think that was a really great experience for Fran, because at first, when she first got here, you could tell that she was a little nervous, getting used to the WNBA style. It's much different than Europe.
Zara was one of 6 foreign players, including 4 newcomers on the Storm's 2005 roster. The diversity kept things interesting on and off the court, and the fans celebrated the team's multicultural makeup.
It's very fun, actually. Sometimes they'll blurt out things spontaneously on the court that makes perfect sense to them, and they're trying to communicate to their teammates or to us, and no one has any idea what they're saying.
Bodo, her English improved. It goes along with confidence, easy, cute accent, and the 2 Aussies, and who else? We're missing Italian, Francesca, and the Jamaican.
You have so many different cultures, and you get to learn so many different things from different cultures. They bring a lot of different personalities, different flavors, different perspectives on the game, and I think that when you get that all mixed together, it's very valuable.
It's just fun because you have all these different cultures, so we're never bored. There's so many things to talk about in our own country, in our own culture, and just basketball overall, our different experiences. So I really like it. I really like that. I really like having a mixed group.
For me, it's a very important goal of my life. For us, America is the basketball country. So play basketball in the country that everybody loves the sport is great. So that was one of my goals, because here everything's professional and the fans love the sport. Kids play since they are little, and everywhere we see they playing ball. So it's very, very good to feel that you're in the right spot.
It took a while for us to gel, and I know it was very new to them, just to learn, all of us, to learn our style of play, to learn us as people and players. But as soon as we did, and we learned each other, we got along so well. Because they were from such different backgrounds, it took a little bit longer than maybe, if they'd grown up playing against each other in college, to get to know each other. But by the end, it was really, really neat to see how they accepted each other for their differences and really appreciate each other for their differences. And that's one of the most beautiful things about sports to me, is that people do come together from all different backgrounds, and they come together and they learn, and it breaks down a lot of stereotypes.
Without Bird, the Storm split 4 games. She made a return to the court in a highly anticipated rematch with Connecticut, who brought an 8-game winning streak to Seattle. The Storm exploded for 51 points in the second half and scored a franchise record 95 points in beating the Sun 95-86. 2004 Finals MVP Betty Lennox continued her mastery of Connecticut, scoring a season-high 29 points.
Here comes Lennox, crossover on Douglas, broke both her ankles. Luckers absolutely stupefied.
The magic did not carry over as the Storm hit the road. With Lauren Jackson failing to score in double figures 2 times, the Storm dropped 4 straight games away from Key Arena, dropping below 500 at the latest point of the season since 2002. Despite the fact that the Storm went into the All-Star break at 8-9, the All-Star game was one of the highlights of the 2005 Storm season. Ann Donovan coached the West to a 122-99 victory, and Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson started for the West. Jackson's first time voted in by the fans.
It was so important to see Lauren as a starter because she's an MVP in this league, and she deserves to be a starter, and for our fans to do more than their part to make sure that happens. It was important for LJ to feel that love and to know that our fans have her back, even to that level.
I don't think, you know, in all the years I've played over here and everything, I never thought that I'd be voted in by the fans to something like that. So I always thought I'd be the one coming off the bench for the All-Star games. But, you know, the fans are great and, you know, they're really taken to me, which is awesome.
All season long, the Storm took advantage of the WNBA's best fans at the Key. The Storm's 14-3 home record was the best in franchise history. Never did Key Arena prove more kind than after the All-Star break. A loss to Washington in the first game dropped the Storm to 8-10, but they responded with a 6-game winning streak, 5 of those coming at the Key. During that stretch, the Storm got game-winning shots from Betty Lennox, not once, but twice against Detroit and LA.
Right side Lennox, open 3 for the dagger! Betty basketball, up 4! She is unreal!
You know, it's funny when you think about home court and how we started the season with LA in a total meltdown, and could have set the tone for our season, you know, in terms of wins and losses, in terms of playing in Key Arena. But we've never, ever lost sight of how comfortable and how confident we feel in Key Arena, and it's because of those fans.
Oh, nothing beats Key Arena. If I could sign a contract to just play at home games only, that would be perfect for me.
I think it's the 6-man game. When you have bad time during the 5-1 that is on court, and you feel all the energy coming and all those people behind you, supporting you, and it's like, I can do that. I have to win this game. I have to make it better for all these people. They are behind us. You can let 5 people gain against us. We have more people than them. So it's like you have someone else with us.
Being at Key Arena, in my opinion, the fans are the key. They definitely sparked us. It's like it was magic. They knew what to do, when to do it. When we were low, they would pick us up. They're just the best fans in the league, in my opinion. It's you know, we've traveled in different arenas throughout the season in the league, and our fans are just phenomenal.
You can barely hear yourself scream, you know, when you're out there on the court. So it's an amazing feeling whenever somebody scores, how loud it gets, or, you know, when you need that one stop and they're saying defense, you know. It's just the best place in the league to play.
They're the best fans in the WNBA. You know, not saying that because I'm from here, because they are the best fans in there. We have the best group of fans, and they're very important and reliable. We always know we're going to come in here and you have a good crowd.
Well, I feel sorry for people having to come play at Seattle, because when we go away, you know, for instance, Houston, it's not that loud, and it's kind of, you know, we're really special and lucky to be able to have great fans like we do here, because it's just like 10 times the noise of anywhere else.
The best part about playing for the Storm is definitely our fans. And I think, you know, a true testament to that is, you know, Diana Taurasi, who happens to be a friend of mine, you know, we were talking after one of the times, you know, they played here, and she was just like, you know, at one point in that game, she's like, it got so loud that I couldn't even hear myself think. And that's what the fans, you know, not only do they give us confidence, not only do they help us, you know, win games, but they intimidate, you know, the other team. And I think, you know, that's why we're able to play so well at home.
The Storm returned to the road to start August and found life tougher away from the Key. The Storm's winning streak came to an end in Indiana But the team sustained a bigger loss when Betty Lennox suffered a partially torn ligament in her left wrist. The team was shaken by the injury.
Well, it was much tougher at that point in the season. Also, like Sue's injury, came at the end of the game that we were not winning. A play that Betty was really trying to get to the rim and make something happen, and comes up, tearing her ligament in her wrist. So another very difficult injury to kind of move past. At a point in our season where we would need every healthy body to start to make some progress in our win-loss column.
Yeah, another injury, another star player. That's always tough to deal with. I think at first we really didn't know what to expect with Betty because we didn't know the severity of it, whether she'd be out in a couple of days or a couple of weeks.
I don't know that any of us knew how Betty would come through it. I think we took our time and were patient with bringing her back slowly when she felt confident, when she felt comfortable, and she was able to push through a lot. Showed just how mentally tough she was.
Now was calling for a mismatch on Betty Lennox, who takes one right across the bridge of the nose, holding one injury with another.
She's a fighter, and she came back even when the doctor said, was kind of like, I'm not sure, but she wanted to be there for the team. She came back and she played through her pain.
Seattle managed to go 3-3 in Lennox's absence. A key win over Houston despite Cheryl Swoop's career-high 34 points gave the Storm the upper hand in the battle with the Comets for home court advantage in the West. With Lennox out of the lineup, first-round draft pick Tanisha Wright stepped up to play the best basketball of her young career.
When Betty got injured, I don't know, everyone was kind of like, because earlier on we thought that she was going to be out for the whole season, and it was just one of those things that we had to handle as a team because, Tanisha Wright, the rookie, she came in and she was amazing. She really stepped up and played some great minutes for us.
You just kind of have to go to war with who you have, and you have to not think about, what you don't have. So as much as we miss Betty, you just kind of had to go into every game and like I said, approach it with who you did have and not think about what you were missing.
The Storm hosted the Minnesota Lynx with a chance to make history for head coach Ann Donovan. With the team's 76-60 win over the Lynx, Donovan became just the fourth coach in WNBA history and the first female to win her 100th career game.
For her to get her 100th win, that was just really extra special because she continues to make and to beat milestones in the game of basketball. And she has so much wisdom and so much knowledge. I don't think there's anyone more deserving of it. And I think just doing that and achieving all of these things, she just continues to show that women are capable of doing the same thing that men are, and she's doing it with ease.
That was a very emotional day too, because I think, especially for us women that do not achieve many things as the men does, it's very special when a woman gets successful life. So know that she's the only woman that has won WNBA championship and now achieved the 100th win. That was very special.
First of all, I have to say that in Europe we don't have a lot of women coaches. So see that a woman can be that famous and can win all those games, I was really happy. As a woman, I was happy.
And winning, getting her 100th win was, I think, a big step for women's coaches in the WNBA, because a lot of times you see now, I don't know what the ratio is, but I know women are on the low end of the totem pole in terms of the coaching spots, the head coaching spots. So I think for Ann to prove, to a lot of GMs out there, not only for herself, obviously it's a great accomplishment, but to prove to other GMs, hopefully that can, kind of open the door for head female coaches in the future. But for her in itself, it was a tremendous accomplishment and one that I'm sure she's very proud of, and we were very proud of her. I'm just glad that I could be a part of a couple of them.
I've learned a lot from working for Ann, but one of the things that I think really stands out that makes her special is her relationship with the players. She really has her finger on